Hi, today I'm going to work with this photograph, and my project will be to cut out one of these, I guess these are wings. I thought they were drumsticks, but looking at it closely, I see this one down here. That's the other part of the wing, so I guess they're wings. But no matter what they are, let's pretend I want to isolate one of these on a clear, transparent background to use for other things. I guess I should first decide which one I want to use. Obviously, I don't want the, I don't know the names of the wings, but that's the other part. This one's a little deformed, and this one here's got some black stuff on it. So I'm going to use this second one to the left. That looks like the most perfect piece of chicken in the photo. And if there's a little more contrast, a little more defined edge, I might go to PhotoPaint, use my magic wand mask. Or also in PhotoPaint, there is the cutout lab, which sometimes that does exactly what you want. Sometimes it leaves a little to be desired. But here's a technique I use a lot with organic shapes. By organic, I mean there's no angles, there's no geometric lines, straight lines, or smooth curves or anything. It's just a random shape, and no two pieces of chicken are going to look the same. So you can be a little, I hate to use the word sloppy, but you don't have to do a perfect job in order for it to look realistic. So we're going to work with a couple of different techniques, and we're going to use PhotoPaint and Draw. I'm in Draw right now. So I can go up to my Bezier tool. I'm going to do a vector mask, but I'm creating it in Draw, the vector program. And let me just show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to trace around the chicken with my Bezier tool. Now I'll use a yellow line so you can see it on the video. And I'm not trying to draw it using Bezier curves. I'm just using a series of very short lines. And I want to keep my cursor moving to get a sort of a random looking line going on. So now that you see what I'm doing, I'm going to put it on pause so you don't have to watch while I do the whole thing. And I'm just tracing around. You can tell I'm not trying to be real careful because, like I said, nobody knows what the chicken looked like in the first place. So it's just a chicken. And let me finish up this. Now you can see there's two lumpy things. I think it's batter on here. I'm going to bypass through those because they don't look like they should be there. So I'm just going to cut them right out of the photo. And now that I'm coming back up to the top, and I'm going to complete my vector shape. There, now I can give it a fill. I'm going to eliminate the outline with my right mouse click. And then these are all straight lines because that's how we drew it. Down here I got a little sloppy, so I'm going to move these out. Just get it to look pretty close to the original chicken shape. And I'm going to marquee select my nodes with my shape tool. And since they're all straight, I'm going to switch them over to curve lines here and smooth nodes instead of cusp. And what that does is gives it a smooth, curvy, natural kind of a look. If I want to, I can give this vector a transparency so I can see the chicken through it, but I'm not going to do that this time because I think it's going to be good enough the way it is. So I'm going to draw a square like this. I guess I'll make it blue. Get rid of the outline, that's important. Then I'm going to hit Control Page Down, which is the same thing as Arrange, Order, Back One. So shortcut is Control Page Down. And now I'm going to click on my yellow chicken shape, hold down Shift, and then click on the blue. Now I'll click Control L, which is the shortcut for combine, and that's up here. So Control L or combine. And now you can see there's like a window, and so what you're seeing here is the chicken behind the window. I'm going to go over here to my shaping flyout, which is you can open this menu just under Arrange, Shaping. And that opens your shaping menu. I'm going to select the blue. I'm going to use the trim command. Just trim the photo. Now once I trim it, you can see what I did. I cut out this chicken. Now it's still attached to this part of the photo. So what I'm going to do now is go up here. I could have made this blue square big enough to eliminate the whole background, but I wanted to show you this. Arrange, break RGB bitmap apart. Then I can get rid of the part I don't want. So now I have my chicken. And I'm going to turn it sideways like this because it wouldn't just be standing up like that. And like I said, this is a wing. I kind of wanted it to look a little more like a drumstick for my project. So what I'm going to do is just stretch it out a little bit. Give it a little bit more of a drumstick look. And that's okay, but as you can see, it has a hard edge on it. And I want it to look more real than this. So what I need to do is convert it to another bitmap. If I want to take it to PhotoPaint, let's pretend I didn't do the conversion. You'll see that when I get into PhotoPaint, the whole photo's still there. It's like I never did anything. Here's my kimchi and my chicken. So what I want to do instead, let's get out of PhotoPaint, is convert this to a bitmap. It's already a bitmap, but now we're converting it to its own. I'm going to use 150 DPI because this is just for a website. RGB. And now this is a standalone bitmap. So I can go to PhotoPaint by hitting Edit Bitmap. And here we are. What I want to do is soften this edge up a little bit. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go to Mask, Create, Mask from Object. And now that masks my background. What I really want is the chicken to be masked. So I'll go to Mask, Invert. And now my chicken is masked off, so I can't do anything to the chicken itself. If I go to Mask, Outline, Feather. This will feather the outline by a certain number of pixels, which you can designate up here. I think 4 looks pretty good. I've got it set on outside, which is outside the clipped image area. I'll click OK. Now if I just hit Control X, which is the same thing, it's a shortcut for cut, and cut is also up here. Control X, you can see that the background goes away just behind the feathered edge. So now, if I get out of here, make sure I save it. Save changes to bitmap, yes. Now I have it. Let's see what I did. I'm going to cut this or copy this to my clipboard. Then I'm going to hit back, which is Control Z or the back arrow. And I'll paste it. And now I can see my original and my feathered one. So you can see I didn't make it blurry. I just softened that edge a little bit. So in a photograph, it's going to look a lot more realistic. So now I can work with this. I can bring in a plate, photo of a plate, and put it behind my chicken, and then it kind of looks like a chicken on a plate. And I'm going to show you one more thing. See if we can make this as real as possible. The plate's a little small, so I'm going to enlarge it, or else people think it's a turkey leg. So, get it the way you want. And if I want to make it a little bit more realistic, I'll show you something else. I'm going to copy my chicken and paste it. So it's right on top of itself. And this top one I'm going to convert to a grayscale bitmap. Convert, keep it at 150. Now that it's grayscale, I'll go up to Effects, Adjust, Tone Curve. This is all in Draw. And I'll select the sharp curve here because my objective here is to turn it black. So just darken the whole thing up. Then I'll convert it again, this time to a monochrome. Black and white. Okay, now it's a monochrome bitmap. That white background I can eliminate by turning it clear with my left mouse button on my palette. And the black part I can make pretty much whatever I want. I'm going to use 50% black with my right mouse button. Then I need to change it back to a grayscale bitmap because I want to blur it. So Bitmap Blur, Gaussian Blur, and just like the mask feather, we can choose the number of pixels we want to blur it by. That looks about right. See, I can go way up here, that's way too blurry, or I can go down here, and that's not enough. So we're going to go where it was in the first place, which was 5. Gives it a little shadowy look. So that when I drop it behind the chicken piece, by clicking Control Page Down or Arrange Order, goes behind there, then I can use my arrow key to make a little shadow under the chicken there. Don't make it too big. And that could be okay just by that, but if you think that shadow should be a little darker, you can do one last thing, which is Bitmaps. Right here, Mode, Black and White. This is how line art is what you want to use. Get your threshold up so that this matches that. Okay. And now it's a monochrome bitmap with the fuzzy shadow. So once again, left click to eliminate the white. And now that shadow, I can make whatever color I want with my right mouse button. Of course, what I want is, it was 50%. I want it a little darker, 60. And I'm going to put it a little higher. I don't want too much shadow or it looks fake. So I'm just using my arrow keys to move it around. All right, now we got our chicken. It was a wing. We turned it into a leg. And our plate with a drop shadow under the chicken. And I'm going to say for most applications like a website or online advertising, that type of thing, this is fine. Of course, if it's for a high-end magazine ad or something, you'd want to work harder on it. You wouldn't want to use clip art. Those are a few techniques I use to use what I call organic shapes, like mostly food and things like that, to get a fairly realistic effect. So practice with some of those techniques, and I hope your next project goes well.